So congratulations to JuJu Watkins. Congrats to JuJu Watkins. She has done something that has been incredible. Incroyable. Congratulations on signing one of the biggest shoe deals in the history of women's basketball. Maybe is it women's sports? Women's basketball. So as you can see here from Shams, it'll never be normal seeing Shams at ESPN, but USC sophomore phenom JuJu Watkins has agreed a multi-year contract extension with Nike, which will give her one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball. And well deserved. Well deserved. I do want to make the point, though, of where's all the fake outrage? Where's all the fake outrage, lads? I'm sorry, I want to hear A'ja Wilson go berserk about this. I want to hear A'ja Wilson, unless there's some hypocrisy there. Obviously, A'ja Wilson's a hypocrite, but I want to see the outrage. I want to see all the outrage about this. Because, I don't know, otherwise the WNBA media are hypocrites. Oh, wait, we know they are. But at the same time, I just want to congratulate JuJu. I want to congratulate her, though. This is a sign of, it's great for women's basketball this has happened. It is great we're seeing Paige Bueckers getting a basically signature shoe. We're seeing JuJu Watkins, what women's college basketball has become is bigger than men's. And because the players are staying there 4 years, women's college basketball is huge. And she's only a sophomore. But not only that, if you've seen with JuJu, obviously she's been in the limelight for years. She has been in the limelight since she was in high school. And I think one of the things that I really like when it comes to JuJu, which I really liked what Caitlin Clark did as well, is they didn't go to Notre Dame. They didn't go to UConn. They didn't go to South Carolina. They kind of made their own path. And you're seeing now USC. I think next year they got one of the top players in the nation. Kiki Iriafen transferred to USC. So I don't think JuJu's going to break the Caitlin Clark record. I'm going to put my hand up. I don't think JuJu's as good as Caitlin Clark. But what I do think JuJu is in that next breed of players that I think are going to be better than all the players before them. She is a 6'2" guard with an incredibly smooth game. If she improves her three ball, that's one thing. And then you've got Paige Bueckers, who's extremely smooth. The problem with Paige Bueckers is she doesn't have that, for lack of a better word, she doesn't have the Kobe Bryant, not even Kobe Bryant, she doesn't have the motor. I know she's been injured, but she doesn't have the motor of a JuJu Watkins, of a Caitlin Clark. But Paige Bueckers has no flaws in her game. That's the one thing I do want to say about Paige, is she actually does not have a flaw in her game as far as weak points. She can go left, she can go right, she can shoot the pull-up, she can ISO you, she can shoot the spot up, she can score in the post a little bit, she can guard 1 through 4. She actually has no flaws at all in her game. And to be fair, JuJu is just the better scorer. She is the better shot creator. I still think she is, as far as just we're looking at college prospects, I think her class is a very strong one. You've got Fulwiley, you've got Hannah Hidalgo, so she is in a particularly strong class. And you also have to take into account that Zhang Jiu, the 7'5" Chinese girl, could potentially come into the WNBA in the same year as JuJu. So as much as everyone wants to anoint JuJu as the next Michael Jordan, she might not even be the first pick in her draft class. That's one of the biggest things when it comes to JuJu Watkins, is that she might not be the number 1 pick in her draft class. I think she probably will be. There's a 90% chance she will be, but she's in a stacked draft class. But we want to look at the draft class. I don't think 2026 looks particularly great. It all depends on who comes back. If the likes of Olivia Miles come back, then obviously it's a little bit stronger. But we're looking at one of the deepest draft classes ever in 2025. We're looking at 2026, which is going to look good. 2027 is going to look good. And I think the future of women's basketball is so bright. And we're seeing, I think JuJu Watkins has probably been signed to a 3-year deal for the rest of her college. But it's probably an underpay. We saw, Caitlin Clark signed one of the worst sneaker deals in history. Everyone talking about Caitlin Clark getting paid too much than other players. They paid Caitlin Clark a quarter of what she was worth. And they're probably paying JuJu the same amount per year as they pay Clark. And for people saying that, it's a ridiculous thing to sign JuJu for that much, women's college basketball is going to be bigger than the WNBA. And it's not going to be bigger than Caitlin Clark. It's going to be bigger. You do realize JuJu plays Paige in December. That's going to be the most watched basketball game of the year. It is. Women's basketball. Until maybe the tournament where people are just watching it. That will be more watched than a WNBA game between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I'm telling you that for a fact. Or at least it'll be more watched than Caitlin Clark playing the playoffs. Because while Caitlin Clark is still the biggest draw, the next two biggest draws in basketball are both in college, in Paige Bueckers and JuJu. They're both bigger draws than Angel Reese. They're both bigger draws than Sabrina. They're both way bigger draws than A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson's not even a bigger draw than Arike. But, yeah, so that's the thing. It says Nike officials. And that the one thing is she's definitely getting paid. She's a Clutch Sport client. She is a Clutch Sport client. But, yeah, like I think JuJu is going to be really important. And I think this crop of players are going to be really important for women's basketball. And it's funny because a lot of people think that a lot of new fans want women's basketball to fail without Caitlin Clark. I do think there are a group of people that aren't fans of the sport that just cling on to Caitlin Clark, just like there are a group of people that hate Caitlin Clark and are not fans of the sport. For me, a lot of people are like, oh, why are you so down Unrivaled? Because I think it's gimmick basketball. I think Unrivaled is complete gimmick basketball. And people are like, oh, the most important thing is they're getting money. No, it's not. Because the WNBA, let's be real, the ideal scenario is it lasts 100 years. It never goes away. And Unrivaled being 3v3 2/3 court in a modified court is the most short-sighted thing ever. The reality is that I'm not going to watch bullshit basketball. I'm not going to watch a bullshit product. So the way I look at it is it's not about how much money the players are making. It's about the product. And if they're making money, great. But if you have a product that is going to continually draw in viewers, long-term, the money's going to be better. But the reality of it is that these players feel like it's more important that Breanna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, Tiffany Hayes make a little bit more money for 2 to 3 years than it is to have a sustainable product for when the likes of JuJu, when the likes of Caitlin Clark. I'm telling you right now, if I am a smart investor, I would say to all these players, because you could get anyone out of Unrivaled by just offering more money. But I would say, if I was a smart investor, I would just go to the likes of when JuJu are out, Caitlin Clark, Paige. Obviously, Paige is an Unrivaled. And a lot of the non-UConn players. Heck, you even go to Angel Reese and just be like, look, we're going to set this up. It's going to be a 5-on-5 league. We're going to have it on during the international seasons. We're going to try pay for international players to come down. And we're going to set up something or base it around all of you guys. We're going to base it on all of you guys, and that would work, and it would be bigger. Because these young players are bigger than the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is bigger than the WNBA. Angel Reese, you can hate Angel Reese all you want. She's bigger than the WNBA. JuJu Watkins is bigger than the WNBA. Paige Bueckers is bigger than the WNBA. And we're going to see it in college. Because, yes, Caitlin Clark was a baller. No one really heard... Who was it against? Was it against Texas A&M, maybe? I don't know. There was somebody, the Caitlin Clark, when they didn't win the game, but they were down like 20 going into the fourth quarter. And she basically just almost single-handedly pulled them back in a game. There was a game where it went ultra-viral with Caitlin Clark. And that's when people started figuring out about her in 2022. There's going to be players like that. There's going to be eyes on watching these players. There's going to be eyes watching JuJu. There's going to be eyes watching Paige. There's going to be eyes watching all these other players. And other players are going to make a name. And ironically, it's not going to be a player at South Carolina. It's not going to be a UConn player. Because as good as Aaliyah Boston is, as much as South Carolina have fans, Dawn Staley plays vomit basketball. Gina Oriema plays vomit basketball. You're not going to see any flair. You're not going to see any creativity from those type of coaches. If you're watching South Carolina, you're going to see, in fairness, you're going to see Phil Wiley ball, and you're going to see Tahina Pau spotting up. You're going to see, we don't know if you're going to see, I don't even know what the girl's name is, their post player who may or may not end up in jail. But I don't know if you're going to see her. Obviously, I don't know enough about that situation. All I know is there's some sort of investigation ongoing. But you're going to, obviously, people were enamored by JuJu carrying her team. You're going to see it at a lot of these smaller colleges, these superstar players averaging 22, 23 points per game and doing it in a flashy style. And that's the thing. Those are the type of players that are going to be bigger than the WNBA. Because the WNBA has had too much of an influence from your Ginos, from your Kim Mulkeys, from your Dawn Staleys. And for lack of a better word, a lot of teams play vomit basketball. Thankfully, the Liberty and the Lynx don't, which would be the greatest finals, touch wood. What happens today? But anyway, yeah, That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.